to all my friends and relatives in four directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy. But with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support. Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovated Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation.
Move up in a new career. Metro Transit is hiring bus drivers with paid training, great benefits, and starting pay at $29 plus per hour. No CDL? Metro Transit will help you get one. This is your chance to build a stable career while making a real impact in your community, connecting people where they need to go every day. Move up with Metro Transit. Learn more by visiting metrotransit.org. Again, that's metrotransit.org.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Visit during free Thursday nights. Every week from 5 to 9 p.m., there's something new to explore. Enjoy date-friendly events like artist talks, performances, and exhibition openings, or explore art-making open library hours and exhibition tours. Settle into your weekend among community. Free every Thursday night and free every day for citizens and members of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 67. Then Tuesday, hot sunshine with a high of 90. There's something for everybody at Cafe Latte in St. Paul. From award-winning soup, salad, sandwiches, and desserts to treats from the bakery made fresh daily and a pizza and wine bar. Cafe Latte is located on the corner of Grand Avenue and Victoria Street. Check them out at cafelatte.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut. Hit me cut again.
Because all the hippies are trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events. And as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, today we're going to have our friend Robert Blake, Solar Bear with the Solar News and Sports. A lot going on. And then later on, we'll have our friend Ruth Anna Buffalo giving us updates of what's happening here in the Twin Cities, and especially with Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center here in the Twin Cities. I want to bring Bob on right away here, and there's a lot to talk about. Welcome, Bob. Thank you so much, as always, for being on Native Roots Radio, and I like that hat. Oh, wow.
Hey, Robert, good to be here with everyone. Rob, so much going on, Robert.
I know. Should we talk about what I want to talk about first? And that's the orange one messing up my whole watching basketball relations here.
Yes. And then that segues perfect into what I want to talk about, which includes the orange one.
Well, people that live in New York, and we live out in Long Island, which is pretty purplish red, but the city of 8 million people cannot stand, and they know all about the orange one, and they are really not happy with what's going on here, closing up their big watch party they have outside the garden, and also just being a all around headache. And why is he coming here? He talks crap about the NBA all the time. And it's just, I hope he gets booed. And I can't wait to listen and see all the live video of him being booed in there.
Yeah. I mean, he's a sociopath, right? So like, it's all about him. And so whenever he gets the opportunity to try and take the limelight or take credit or just be the one, right? He's going to do it. And of course, this is huge for New York because I mean, the Knicks haven't won an NBA championship for forever. And, the whole city is just excited. And actually, I'm excited for the New York Knicks because, I mean, first of all, they have Carl Anthony Towns, who used to be with the Timberwolves. He's going to probably get a ring now, Robert. And it just makes me think of the Anthony Edwards Cat duo that we could have had. But Brunson is an amazing point guard. And the thing about Jalen Brunson is he is a more mature player than Anthony Edwards is. And Anthony Edwards came out of high school into the NBA. Jalen Brunson came out of college. And I'm telling you, those years Jalen Brunson was able to mature. He's got the New York Knicks in the finals and about to win an NBA championship. So to all you listeners out there who say that education is not the way, education is not key, I think it's the difference in the maturity level between Jalen Brunson and Anthony Edwards and Jalen Brunson now winning an NBA championship. So I think Edwards will get there, but I think there's a maturity that he has to go through in order to get there. But, professional sports is so much more a mind game as it is a physical game. You can have all the physical attributes, but you got to have the mind game. And Michael Jordan spoke about that eloquently in that documentary. But, Robert, getting back to the orange one, he is such an epic failure for this country and the world.
Well, and the whole world knows it. And I see an echo chamber of 30% of the voters out there, just how great he is. And all they want to do is here locally is attack the governor and Biden and now the attorney general of all the missteps they've done with, of course, there's definitely problems with what happened with all these nonprofits, but it was run by, again, a white woman ran this big Ponzi scheme with the state, getting all that money. And then also, if you remember, Bob, what was really bizarre about this whole thing is they cut her money off and she sued the government for more to have her money returned, and they did it. So there's issues for sure, but we're getting robbed federally right before our eyes here, and the people that are supporting the orange one, which are being less and less, don't even look at that or don't even know about it because they're so siloed in Fox News and all that.
Well, and I kind of wonder too, Robert, if the situation that happened with that Feeding Our Future is, a indication of a much bigger problem in philanthropy and in these positions where these grants are being allocated to communities of color. Because no disrespect here, and I am forever grateful for all the people that are involved with trying to make our communities better. But I see in my position being in the nonprofit sector, I see a lot of white women who are in these positions of power and are coming together and making decisions for these communities of color. And they just have this lingo that they're able to talk to one another. And I'm just wondering, Robert, if this is part of the problem, because, these individuals are making decisions for these communities and they are allocating resources to one another. And I'm just saying, like, could this be part of the problem? And this whole situation that happened in, the Feeding Our Future scandal, and is this an indication of a much systemic, bigger problem? And so, philanthropy, states, and these positions, can we get individuals that are from these communities, that are allocating these dollars and these resources, who've got lived experiences, making these decisions, rather than leaving it into these, let's just be honest, these individuals, who all look like each other and are making these decisions. So I'm just saying, Robert, I think it's an interesting situation. It's something that we don't want to talk about. I am just pointing it out, everyone. But it's something that needs to, I think, be looked at.
I agree, Bob. And one of the things that we've been talking about as long as I've been around is to have representation. So whether it's a book, whether it's people speaking for us, whether it's government making bills that are supposedly going to support us, and not having native representation. So I think that's what we should really be focusing on too, especially here on Native Roots Radio. Is just, I think you're touching on it, but I want to really amplify that too, is that we have to take control of our own narrative.
Right. And I, this is going to sound really funny, Robert, but I heard Bill Burr make that analogy in one of his comedy specials. And it was so interesting, because I was at a philanthropy event where there were all these, white women that were sitting around essentially making decisions for all these communities of color. And I was just thinking to myself, oh my God, if Bill Burr was here to see this, he would totally understand this. So yeah, I mean, and God bless those people and everything like that. And I think they really have their heart in the right place. But it can be in a situation where it can be manipulated, and it could be done for the wrong way, just like you've seen in this Feeding Our Future and in these other spaces. So, and along with that, Robert, let's be honest, comes a big paycheck, and that is extra money that is not getting into these communities, but going into their pocket.
Absolutely. And I think it's our job here, Robert, and I think it's great that we're having this conversation, is to amplify that we are here and we can speak for ourselves. And that's what we do here on Native Roots Radio. We're going to take a quick break. We're with our friend Bob Blake from Red Lake. Just wanted to say that one time. Solar Bear with the Solar News and Sports. We'll be right back. Ho! Wow.
Culture prevents so many negative things from happening to us as individuals and as communities.
Strong roots begin with a healthy heart. For Indigenous women, heart health is part of caring for community, culture, and future generations. Even small steps can help protect what matters most. Discover ways to support your heart at hennepincounty.gov/hearts-beats, because your heart beats for generations.
Move up in a new career. Metro Transit is hiring bus drivers with paid training, great benefits, and starting pay at $29 plus per hour. No CDL? Metro Transit will help you get one. This is your chance to build a stable career while making a real impact in your community, connecting people where they need to go every day. Move up with Metro Transit. Learn more by visiting metrotransit.org. Again, that's metrotransit.org.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Warmer weather, sunny skies, summer is here. At the Walker, this means mini golf is open on the rooftop. Artist-led activations return to the hillside, and the cinema has a series of curated films. It's the perfect time to visit. Gallery admissions are free every Thursday night and free every day for members and citizens of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org/summer.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot. We are with our friend Bob Blake with Solar Bear with the Solar News, and I just wanted to mention this and kind of switch it around here for a second, Bob. But I was at the Grand Old Day parade, and I saw Amy Klobuchar, and she had a group of people marching with them, and they were basically chanting to vote for Angie Craig. And again, I just get really irritated, and I just had to say that on air that I did not like that. I was kind of stunned when I heard it, so I didn't really yell at him like I normally would, but I was just like, are you kidding me? Come on now. All this PAC money, all this out-of-state money going to Angie Craig, and we really have to uplift our Native relative, Peggy Flanagan, and really push this forward because, again, very surprised, but then again, not surprised. So I don't know. Also, too, Bob, I want to bring up another thing, too, to you and have you comment is, again, we are getting rid of the Trump Kennedy Center, and there was a man who wheeled a garbage bin outside the center waiting for them to take down Trump's name. So kudos on them. And again, shout out to New York City.
Yeah, great decision on that judge. He ruled that, this landmark was the name of John F. Kennedy and not Donald Trump, and for Trump to put his name on there, like the sociopath that he is. Once again, wants to capitalize on everybody else's hard-earned work that he does. Great job, Trump voters. You're just seeing what a disgrace and what a problem this guy is and has been. So that's that situation. And then as far as the people that were there, supporting Amy and chanting Angie Craig. I refer those people as the DFL mafia, and that's what it is, Robert. And I ran into the DFL mafia when I ran for city council here in the city of St. Paul. And if you're not in line with the DFL mafia and their agenda, right, then you are not in. And so any waiver of that, right, is not acceptable. And the thing about it is, Lieutenant Governor Flanagan is not accepting corporate money. She's accepting, donations from, everyday people like yourself and me, Robert, and that's how she's funding her campaign. And a lot of this big corporate money is coming from data centers, coming from the mining companies. I posted a story on my Facebook about, there's a lake in Bolivia, Robert, that is going dry now after 30 years. And it was one of the freshwater lakes that was there forever and was supplying water to these communities. And it's no longer going to be there, Robert, and it's going to disappear. And so I think the question that we need to ask ourselves here in the state of Minnesota is, do we want data centers and mining companies sucking up all our fresh water when we know that we're going to need this water into the future to serve our communities and serve our state? So that's what, the lieutenant governor is facing right now. And, I just say to the lieutenant governor, stand steady. Don't worry about the naysayers. Angie Craig is not going to be our next state senator. Everybody is going to vote for the lieutenant governor, not because she's DFL endorsed, but because she is the right person for the job. And so, that's where that's at. And it's just like in any campaign, there's going to be a lot of mudslinging, throwing against the particular camps. And that's what you saw the other day at Grano Days, Robert.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, I want to give a shout out to a Native American playing for the Boston Red Sox, Derek Duran. Just a quick shout out. You got your first hit called up, and he is, I believe he's Navajo. Yep, he's Navajo. And just want to give a shout out. We're going back and forth from politics to sports, and then also want to give a quick shout out again back to New York. You guys keep on doing what you're doing. Just amazing. And I see here in the Washington Post, my mayor is Muslim, my bagels are Jewish, my Christian Dior, Nixon 4. So got a good sense of humor, and I can't wait to hear the booing. And I guess we'll see how where the I think it's on ABC. We'll see how they do, because they might block out the booing, but we'll get reports with people with their own cell phones, and we'll be able to hear the real deal.
Yeah. The Knicks are going to win this. Trump's ruining another great moment for this country. We can't wait till we vote this guy out and vote out the Republicans in the midterms coming up here. Which perfect segue, Robert, into the information with the Solar Bear, with the solar news. And I just want to let you take a little bit of these statistics. Since Trump took office, household electric bills have risen 18% nationally, Robert. 18% nationally. And natural gas prices have increased by 19%. Okay. And remember, he spent $2 billion in taxpayer money to stop wind projects that were going to lower the energy bills of American households. Mm-hmm. Put this in perspective, Robert. We're having all this increase in energy, and our president, who is supposed to be looking after our best interests, is spending money, taxpayer money, to make our prices only go up, to make our bills only go up. Now, that project would have, those wind projects on the East Coast would have affected 17 million homes, Robert. 17 million American families don't have lower electricity bills because the President Dump, the commander in chief, wants to serve his buddies in the fossil fuel industry. Robert, 144,000 jobs, Robert, 144,000 jobs have been lost or have been stalled because of President Dump's attack on clean energy jobs. And this is a staggering statistic right here, but since Trump took office, Robert, gas and electric utility bills have risen over $95 billion, affecting 112 million electric utility customers, 56 million gas customers across 49 states and the District of Columbia. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to say to you, but if you're stuck on stupid and still want to keep this guy in office, then there's just no helping you. But Robert, this is plainly facts, and the facts speak for themselves. This guy is a disgrace to the country and to the office.
Well, Robert, too, and maybe you can help me out with this, or maybe look it up for me for next time. But what I heard, and again, this is allegedly, but what I heard is the federal government now is removing all these indicators of how the water is being warmed in the ocean. So all these things that are in the ocean for, to detect climate change, whether the water's getting warmer and warmer. These are things that have been in there for years just to detect this. They are taking them out now and disposing them, and it's going to cost millions and millions of dollars. One, to take them out, and two, when they leave, to put them back in. So Again, we're in the upside down world.
Robert, we are in a bad position. United States, people listening to this broadcast right now have to understand the situation that we are in the world right now. And that is, we are in a runaway climate disaster right now. And this is what the Biden-Harris administration was trying to explain and trying to prepare us for. Let's just go back to the Obama administration, what they were trying to do. People, we cannot continuously vote a reality TV star as the president of the United States. This is the stupidest thing the United States public has ever done. Probably not the stupidest, but I don't know. Probably the stupidest. And I'm telling you right now, Robert, it is true. The circulation of the heat that is producing in the Pacific is going to produce one of the most incredible heat waves that is going to be happening coming here in the near future. And, the last time this happened, crops are destroyed. Listen, Robert, we already have a problem with our topsoil. Okay. Our topsoil in general is bad. Now, this is what happened during the Dust Bowl, during the 1930s. This is exactly what happened. And it's going to happen again if we don't get better leadership in the White House and leading this country, because these guys can't find their way out of a box, out of a paper bag, Robert.
Wet paper bag, we used to say in the olden days. Hey, we're here with Bob Blake. Later on, Ruth Anna Buffalo. We got another segment with Bob, and this is Native Roots Radio. And Bob is the solar bear with the solar news and sports. And hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be back right after this short break. Stay with us. Oh, support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Warmer weather, sunny skies, summer is here. At the Walker, this means mini golf is open on the rooftop. Artist-led activations return to the hillside, and the cinema has a series of curated films. It's the perfect time to visit. Gallery admissions are free every Thursday night and free every day for members and citizens of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org/summer.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
This is Chase Iron Eyes announcing a new show on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota, powered by Native Roots Radio. The show is called Native American Patriot Talk Radio. What will we do on the show? We are going to explore and dive into the source of American constitutional sovereignty, the intersection of Native American and legal issues. Find us the first and third Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. on AM 950.
Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovated Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation. I heard sex trafficking happens a lot in Indian country. What is that?
Here are some of the real reasons why sex trafficking happens in Indian country. Unequal gender roles that were forced on us by colonization. Communities don't have enough resources. Silence around domestic and sexual violence. Lack of attention and justice for missing and murdered Indigenous people. There's a lot of behavior that keeps our communities out of balance. These are just a few true reasons why Native communities are targeted by traffickers. When these acts of violence happen in our communities, it opens us all up for exploitation.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Move up in a new career. Metro Transit is hiring bus drivers with paid training, great benefits, and starting pay at $29 plus per hour. No CDL? Metro Transit will help you get one. This is your chance to build a stable career while making a real impact in your community, connecting people where they need to go every day. Move up with Metro Transit. Learn more by visiting metrotransit.org. Again, that's metrotransit.org.
Maintaining our health, particularly our heart health, is very important to us as a family.
Your heart gives you time with family, time with community, time to pass down what matters. Protecting your heart helps keep those moments alive. A visit with a healthcare provider can be one step toward a healthier future. Learn more at hennepincounty.gov/hearts-beats. Your heart health is essential because your heart beats for generations.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 67, then Tuesday, hot sunshine with a high of 90. There's something for everybody at Cafe Latte in St. Paul, from award-winning soup, salad, sandwiches, and desserts to treats from the bakery made fresh daily and a pizza and wine bar. Cafe Latte is located on the corner of Grand Avenue and Victoria Street. Check them out at cafelatte.com.
AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Oh, this is Dallas Goldtooth, and you're listening to the Native Roots Radio. Hoka, hicha, wecha.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot, and we are with our friend Robert Blake from Red Lake, the solar bear with the solar news and sports here on a Monday on Native Roots Radio. Later on, we're going to have our friend Ruth Anna Buffalo on, CEO of Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center here in the Twin Cities, just to check in what's happening and all the great work that organization does for our community, and we love to spotlight them and what's going on. Bob, again, I'm going to let you take over here this last 12 minutes with you. Really appreciate bringing up some solar news and what's going on. And I really totally enjoy talking to you about things that are happening worldly. And I think we have to make a caravan someday and do a live show somewhere in Iowa or something. Oh,
or we could do it out at the Twin Stadium.
Yeah.
Incidentally, Robert, the Twins going over to the Solar Bear with the sports now. I got to tell you, Robert, the Twins are 30-37. Okay, we're 7 games behind the Cleveland Indians. Okay, are the Cleveland? I forgot what they're
Guardians.
called. Yeah.
Guardians.
Yeah, the Guardians. Okay, good job, by the way, City of Cleveland. That was a great job, Cleveland. Anyways, Robert. Listen, we just split with the worst team in the Major League Baseball, Kansas City Royals. I'm kind of wondering, Robert, if we need to start thinking about next season. And the reason why I say this is because, you know, we've got some issues going on with our bullpen. We've got some other issues happening with the guys trying to keep, healthy. And I'm just kind of wondering if maybe the Twins should really just bring up like Culpepper and these guys that are down in AAA and just really give them a seasoning of big league baseball and get them prepared for the next season, because I just don't think we have the horses to get to the postseason.
Well, our bullpens totally failed us here. And last year, you remember they traded 11 people on the final day of, or 12 people. And you can't, and there's a certain date too, I think, that Culpepper will be brought up, but they don't want it to add to the time and save money, one of those kind of deals. And also, we don't really talk about this much, but there's going to be a lockout next year. And I think that's why the Twins have such a low payroll, is that, you're going to have to pay a lot of these people, whether they're locked out or not, with their guaranteed contracts, which is the only major league sport that has a strong union, that they do have these contracts like that. I mean, in the NFL, 99% of the people, if you break your leg, tough, you won't get paid.
This is why I'm saying, Robert, we need to think about what we can get for Buxton and Lewis and maybe even Ryan right now. Like, let's just get a bunch of draft choices. Let's stack some capital. Let's give the young guys an opportunity just to play some big league ball, and let's roll the dice and let's see where this goes right now. because I just don't see like the Twins having an opportunity here this postseason, just with the way the bullpen looks right now and the way
That's a great idea, but it's going to be timing because, again, you remember in 1982, I don't know if you're old enough to remember this, they lost 102 games with the same team and the same young bucks that won the 87 World Series, the same core people. So they need to get, like you said, some experience up in the big leagues.
Yeah, and that's where I was going with this, right? I mean, because like those guys, Herbeck, Gaetti, those legends, Robert, those legends, Lombardozzi. I mean, I don't know, like I forget, but anyways, those guys, like they were like bottom of the barrel. Then all of a sudden they win the World Series, and I'm telling you, I think I see another opportunity for the Twins to basically stumble in and make that same mistake again.
Yeah, definitely. And then 5 years later, with the same core, they won another World Series. But
exactly, Robert. That's and they were competitive too. And so that's what I'm saying. It was an exciting team. It was an exciting baseball season all around Minnesota. I would like to see the Minnesota Twins do that exact same scenario again. Robert, I'm gonna jump over to the Minnesota Vikings and what's happening over there with the quarterback situation between Kyler Murray and JJ McCarthy and Carson Wentz, right?
Carson Wentz is there too, right?
Yep, Carson Wentz is there. And the reason why the KOC wants that is because, these guys get hurt, right? And so like you want to be able to fill in where you need to and next man up, right? Next man up. But with that being said, I'm telling you, Robert, I think JJ McCarthy might be trade bait. It might be trade. And here's the thing. I think Kyler Murray is having a good having a good camp here. And the other part about this is the weapons that this team has. You got one of the greatest receivers probably of all time right there, Justin Jefferson. You got Jordan Addison. You've got now the guy from San Francisco, Juan Jennings, and then you've got TJ Hawkinson. You need a passer or someone that's going to give you time to be able to make those plays and make those passes. And I believe that the Vikings serendipitously landed on the right person with Kyler Murray, and I foresee a great season for the Minnesota Vikings, Robert.
And he was inexpensive.
Because the St. Louis or the Arizona Cardinals are paying him $30 million and we're paying him $1 million. So like we're getting him like at a bargain rate, but he's going to earn it and he's going to win us a bunch of games this year. And then he'll come back for his contract, which he deserves. And I'm telling you, I think the Vikings are going to have a great season. And I am making a prediction right now, the Solar Bear, we are going to the Super Bowl shuffle, Robert.
Yeah. Well, as long as I get an invite to your suite and watch one of these games here and maybe against the Packers, because we have a big following here in Wisconsin. You just got to throw that out there. I have you ever been to a game in Green Bay?
Robert, I have been, and it's an amazing experience. And if you haven't, you got to do it at least one time in your life. Yeah, and Robert, and just to say, the Green Bay Packers and Lambeau Field, you guys have got it over there. It's an amazing football experience. And like I said, I mean, that whole thing over there in Green Bay is just crazy cool.
Yeah, and I just got to throw it out too, is that, again, I'm old. So prior to 1980, 82, we were outside warriors, just like the Packers are now, and below zero weather. And we were an outdoor football team. And I think we were a lot tougher back then. At least the fans were.
And Robert, I want to talk about real quickly the Minnesota Lynx. They are number one in the WNBA. Olivia Miles is probably going to be the rookie. Yes, the rookie of the year. I mean, we're doing all this without probably the second or top three best WNBA player in the league, which is Nafisia Collier, who is simply amazing. And I think she's incredible. But her And I mean, imagine when she comes back, how this team is going to be then. Man, I got to go check out some Lynx games this year, Robert. I am a huge fan. I'm a huge fan. Neficia Collier. I guess I would be one of those shirt or jersey wearers, jersey chasers.
Yeah.
For Neficia Collier, but because she's just beautiful, she's so cool. But Olivia Miles is amazing, and I'm just so excited for Olivia Miles and her career here at in Minnesota that I foresee the Minnesota Lynx taking another run at these titles.
Hey, she's breaking Caitlin Clark records. I read.
Yes, and she's not a big talker, Robert. She's not a big booster. She's not yapping out there. She's just putting in the hard work and doing and making the plays. And I tell you, kudos to the head coach there who scouted her and did all that due diligence. I mean, Minnesota Lynx staff and front office, you ladies are the real deal, man. You guys do your homework. And man, if only the other Minnesota teams could be like that, Robert.
I know all the championships they have. We definitely have to give them their flowers. And Wendy and I are going to try and make more games this year. It's just an amazing game. And I watched the NBA and only in the playoffs, and it's amazing athletes. I just got to say, I think over the years when I used to watch them and go to Timberwolves games, especially that first year when they were in the Dome, I just felt like it was two games. It was like, them playing and then the last 5 minutes were really playing. But these playoffs, they are really playing. And that's what I enjoy about women's basketball. They're always playing hard.
Yeah, no, I love going to the Lynx games. I'm going to get me to a couple Lynx games this year. And, it really is exciting. Robert, I did forget to mention, though, the Vikings' new general manager is Nolan Teasley, a guy who used to be at Seattle, right? Who took Sam Darnold from us, brought him to Seattle, won a Super Bowl, and now he's here at our front office, and he's going to bring us a Super Bowl too, which I think he's going to do, because the difference between this guy and the last GM is this guy's a football guy. He was a scout. He knows what it's like to be in the trenches, and he knows what it's like to look for talent. And so I'm really excited for the future drafts coming up because this guy's going to be heading it up.
We got like a minute left here, Robert. How can people contact you and see what you're doing with Solar Bear and Native Sun to keep an eye on what you're doing?
Yeah, be looking for an article coming out for me from the Tribal Business News is coming out with one. And then Twin City Business News is also going to be coming out with an article here very shortly too. So those will be coming out. And then I've got some more traveling to do, and I'll be in some more places making joining panels and talks and everything. And so, and we're just going to keep on building solar and putting electric vehicle stations in the ground.
Well, and I know you always mention Native Roots Radio, so I appreciate that in your talks. Ho!
Well, and Robert, and how about the Solar Bear with the Solar News coming up?
Right on. That's right. Hey, yeah, definitely in the Circle magazine.
Mm-hmm. Ask that's Solar Bear.
Right. Ask Solar Bear with online at the circlenews.org, a revamped website organization I'm working with right now. And Bob's going to be giving us content there. So thank you so much. We got our friend Ruth Anna Buffalo coming up next, and this is Native Roots Radio. Thanks, Bob.
When we heal from our traumas,
when we face our fears,
let go of our addictions,
when we relearn our values,
when we live our teachings,
respecting our elders,
cherishing and honoring our children,
when we honor and take care of our spirit,
there will be no room left for sexual violence.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Move up in a new career. Metro Transit is hiring bus drivers with paid training, great benefits, and starting pay at $29 plus per hour. No CDL? Metro Transit will help you get one. This is your chance to build a stable career while making a real impact in your community, connecting people where they need to go every day. Move up with Metro Transit. Learn more by visiting metrotransit.org. Again, that's metrotransit.org.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Visit during free Thursday nights. Every week from 5 to 9 p.m., there's something new to explore. Enjoy date-friendly events like artist talks, performances, and exhibition openings, or explore art-making open library hours and exhibition tours. Settle into your weekend among community. Free every Thursday night and free every day for citizens and members of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hi, it's Dr. Evan Adams, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio. Hey, Victor, you better be listening.
In this portion of the show, we'd like to bring awareness to our wolf and bear populations throughout Turtle Island. Say no to the hunts.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. We are with our friend Ruth Ann of Buffalo with the Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center, and we just really appreciate your time, Ruth, and giving us updates about this great organization and what you do for the community. Big Peenigigi, thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, Dosha, hello, and Madzigadadz, thank you for having us.
Right on. Hey, so what is going on? I know there's all these things that happen and happening there for the community. You've been around over 40 years and really helping out the Native community, and it's just been great to just amplify what you guys do. So thanks, Ruth, for coming on. And so what's new and what's happening?
This week we have a 40-hour sexual assault training held on site in partnership with Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition. And we also have a 2-day, two separate classes beginning tomorrow evening and going through again on Wednesday evening, moccasin making classes. So we're pretty excited. And tonight is cultural night, which is held every other Monday in the gym. So encourage everybody to come out to these free events. The moccasin making class, though, is already booked, and we just want to send a friendly reminder out to everybody who signed up and registered to don't forget to show up.
That's awesome. And those are the kind of things I remember I was there for. I don't remember what I was there for, but there was a class on art on oh shoot, I can't remember what is it on. It's on the written paper.
Ledger art.
Yes,
ledger art. Yeah.
I can't remember that. Shoot. But that was great. That class was rocking and full, and people were doing it, and it was just like, let's keep our art and let's keep who we are alive, and that's what the Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center does.
Yes, we are so thankful, for the people coming together, like you mentioned, over 40 years ago, to find a path forward for our Native women and their families. Art is such a huge part of who we are as a people or peoples. It's just, we have so many talented people out there too. So I'm really excited to see more sessions and more opportunities in the community here to help people sort of catapult their creativity and maybe, become an entrepreneur. I think that's kind of a natural for a lot of our people. So it's just trying to frame it in that way so that people can also, help with their income, extra income, and, just their economic stability during these times.
Yeah, definitely. And, they can, pinch hit for somebody like me where, that prehistoric art that you see in caves, like,
Yeah, that's me too. That's the best I can
and
do as a
art.
stick person. I can draw a really good sun. No, I'm just kidding. A really good cat, for
Oh, but
Halloween,
not
like
only
back in
that,
the day.
the canoe too. Those are pretty easy, right? The canoe.
Oh
The whole
yeah, canoe,
dimensional hoop.
arrow,
Yeah.
basketball.
Exactly, and I like what you just kinda, talked about there is that people that do have that gift can get, more training and then also, sell their art because there is a market out there, and I know I have a pair of moccasins, but, my, grandchildren need moccasins, so yeah, I that's a great angle to talk about. And we're only gonna be together a short time here, Ruth Anna. I'm wondering too if we could just give information about Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center and how people can find out more information and support you.
Yes, we have our website that is at www.miwrc.org. If you are able to donate, we encourage that for sure, of course, wholeheartedly. That's miwrc.org/donate. There you will get linked to our socials on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Facebook is pretty current as well as Instagram. We do have a LinkedIn, but don't really use it as much. But yeah, find all of our new updates. We also added a new feature to our events on our website that shows our weekly schedule. And so some of our offerings are, community meetings every third Wednesday of the month, support groups every other week, and Inipi or Sweat Lodge ceremony last Friday of every month. We'll be hosting a nature walk, looking at medicines and learning more this Saturday. So yeah, we have lots of exciting things and always open to help partner and create more activities for the community.
Wow, that's awesome. I have a sage, growing outside my, garage. This year, I fenced it in so the rabbits can't eat it or smudge themselves off with it, so but the interesting thing is with the way the heat is and the way, climate change is right now, my sage right now looks as big as it does normally in August. I'm just kind of blown away by that. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, we've noticed different things in the area that we live in now, and like yellow leaves, like leaves turning color already. It's just, yeah, it's interesting. And we're trying to take advantage of the warm weather too. So we've been swimming a lot and getting exercise in the water.
Yeah, that's a good thing, but, I'm getting old now and it's like, "Oh, it's warm out now," and, I mean, I used to be in the sun all the time, but it's kinda scary too in a lotta well, I'm just old, Ruth Anna, so I wanna stay out of the sun. I was at
Yeah.
grand old days and my nose got all red.
Yeah, we have to adapt and adjust, but yeah, sadly it's changing times for sure, and we're all adjusting. And
Yeah. So, what else, would you like, people to know about Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center? I mean, it's got a great history of 40 years. You were part of the last part and, I guess, putting the cherry on top with the housing upstairs and how that was changed. Maybe you can mention a little bit about that too.
yes, for sure. We are located in a four-story building. It's a very old building. One half of the building is 100 years old, and then the other half is 75 years old. And that was, obviously a new add-on. Um, MIWRC had started planning on renovating the top two floors, the tenant units, in around 2019, and it finally came to completion this past Labor Day, where we opened the brand new tenant units, like fully remodeled. We went from 7 on each floor, 7 to 7 2 to 3 bedroom units on each floor, so 14 total, and we now have 24 units, mainly singles. Efficiency studio units, 12 on each floor, and 4 total, 2 on each floor, are 1 bedroom single units. And our focus is on the population that is of high priority homelessness and long-term homelessness and disabilities. And so we accept everyone. 20 of the 24 units must go through Hennepin County's HMIS system, or a coordinated entry system, which is like a huge database. And so highly encourage people to reach out to your current case managers. We do a lot of partnerships with AICDC, COLA, Homeward Bound, A3, Agate, Avivo, just trying to help get people housed and also the support services that they deserve.
Ruth Ann of Buffalo, thank you so much for coming on and giving us a great update on Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center. Big Pinigigi, thank you.
Matsugrads.
Hey, we'll see you soon. Hey, if you're listening to the show, you are part of the resistance. From Chief Plenty Coops, the ground in which we stand on is sacred ground. We'll see you tomorrow. This is Native Roots Radio. Ho! Support